The NFL free agency period is finally here, and the Kansas City Chiefs wasted no time making moves. This is one of the most exciting and crucial times of the year, where teams scramble to improve their rosters and position themselves for another championship run. And Chiefs Kingdom, our front office came out swinging. Before we dive into the specific signings, let's talk about what this period actually means. You may have heard the term legal tampering thrown around, but what exactly is it? Well, it's the 2-day window before free agency officially begins, when teams can start negotiating with players and their agents. No deals can be officially signed yet, but agreements in principle start forming fast. And as soon as the clock strikes the new year, contracts start flying off the board. For the Chiefs, the goal this offseason was clear: reload without overpaying. Reid and his staff had a plan in place, and when the negotiation period opened, they moved aggressively. Unlike previous years where Kansas City took a more patient approach, this time they were among the first teams to strike. And honestly, it makes sense. With Patrick Mahomes at the helm, the Chiefs are always in win-now mode. The front office knows that keeping this team at the top requires smart, timely decisions. So what do you think so far? Do you like the Chiefs' strategy of making quick moves instead of waiting for the market to settle? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get a pulse check from the Kingdom. Are these the right moves, or should they have been more patient? And speaking of moves, let's get into the first big signing of free agency. If there's one thing you can never ignore, it's protecting your franchise quarterback. The Chiefs went out and found a new left tackle, someone who could be a crucial piece in keeping Mahomes upright. Let's talk about Jay Moore and what he brings to this offensive line. When you have the best quarterback in the league, protecting him is priority number one, and the Chiefs wasted no time making sure Patrick Mahomes has the security he needs. Kansas City has officially signed left tackle Jay Moore to a 2-year, $30 million deal. Now, if you don't know much about Moore, let's break it down. He spent the last few seasons with the San Francisco 49ers, learning under one of the best in the game, Trent Williams. That's huge. Playing alongside a future Hall of Famer gives you an edge, and Moore has absorbed that knowledge. While he wasn't the biggest name in free agency, he fits exactly what the Chiefs need: a reliable, disciplined tackle who won't break the bank. Looking at the past few years, Kansas City has struggled to find consistency at left tackle. Orlando Brown Jr. was solid but demanded a massive contract. Donovan Smith was a temporary fix last season, and while he had moments, he wasn't the long-term answer. Moore, on the other hand, brings stability and upside at a price that keeps the Chiefs flexible. Speaking of price, let's talk about the contract. 2 years, $30 million. That's a smart, calculated move by Reid. Instead of overpaying for a big-name tackle, the Chiefs invested in a player with room to grow, without committing to a long-term, high-risk deal. This also means Kansas City could still explore drafting a young tackle to develop behind Moore. So, what do you think? Will Jay Moore be the long-term solution at left tackle, or is he just another stopgap? Let's get a vote going in the comments, yes or no. Is he the right guy to protect Mahomes? And speaking of protection, the Chiefs didn't just focus on the offensive line. They also made a move to add more explosiveness to the backfield. Coming up next, we'll break down the signing of a running back who brings pure speed to this offense: Elijah Mitchell. The Chiefs' offense just got a serious boost in speed. Kansas City has signed running back Elijah Mitchell to a 1-year, $3.5 million deal, adding a new dimension to the backfield. And if you've watched him play, you know exactly what he brings: explosiveness. Mitchell made a name for himself with the San Francisco 49ers, where he quickly became one of the fastest backs in the league. His 4.38 speed in the 40-yard dash speaks for itself, and when he gets into open space, he's gone. The Chiefs already have Isaiah Pacheco, a tough, physical runner who fights for every yard. But Mitchell, he's the change of pace back this offense has been missing. Imagine the possibilities: Reid, can now mix things up with a lightning-fast runner who can turn a small gap into a huge gain. Of course, there's a reason he was available on a short-term deal. Injuries have been an issue for Mitchell throughout his career, limiting his playing time in San Francisco. But the Chiefs don't need him to be a workhorse. They need a playmaker, a guy who can make defenses pay when they focus too much on stopping Mams. Another key factor, Mitchell's contract at just $3.5 million for 1 year. This is a low-risk, high-reward move. If he stays healthy and delivers, it's a steal. If not, the Chiefs still have Pacheco as the lead back and can explore other options in the draft. So, what's your take? Do you think Mitchell will make an impact, or should the Chiefs still look for another running back in the draft? Let me know in the comments. Now, while adding speed to the offense is exciting, keeping the defense strong is just as important, and the Chiefs just made sure one of their key leaders isn't going anywhere. Up next, we'll break down the massive contract extension for linebacker Nick Bolton. Defense wins championships, and the Chiefs just made sure one of their biggest defensive leaders isn't going anywhere. Kansas City has officially locked in linebacker Nick Bolton with a 3-year, $45 million extension. It's a major move, but was it the right one? Let's break it down. Bolton has been the heart of this defense since he arrived. His instincts, tackling ability, and leadership make him invaluable in Steve Spagnuolo's system. Whether it's diagnosing plays before they happen or delivering clutch tackles in critical moments, he's the guy who sets the tone. Just think back to Super Bowl 58. Bolton was everywhere, making impact plays when the team needed him most. But this deal has sparked some debate among Chiefs fans. Some see it as a necessary investment in the future of the defense. Others wonder if the team overpaid, especially considering how the linebacker position has been devalued in recent years. Could the Chiefs have spent that money elsewhere? Maybe, but losing Bolton would have left a massive hole in the middle of the defense. This move ensures continuity and stability in a system that thrives on having smart, disciplined playmakers. Another thing to consider is the contract structure. At $15 million per year, Bolton is now one of the higher-paid linebackers in the league, but the Chiefs didn't completely break the bank. They found a way to keep him while still maintaining flexibility for future roster moves. That's a win. Now, it's your turn. Do you think Bolton was worth this contract? Drop a yes or no in the comments. With the defense locked in, let's shift our focus back to the offense. There's one player that many fans wanted to see return, and the Chiefs made it happen. Up next, we'll talk about what Marquise Hollywood Brown brings to Kansas City's passing attack. The Chiefs' offense just got a serious boost. Kansas City has brought back Marquise Hollywood Brown on a 1-year deal worth up to $11 million in incentives. It's a move that could pay off in a big way if Brown can live up to his potential. Hollywood Brown has all the tools to be a game changer. Speed, check. Route running ability? Check. Deep threat potential? Absolutely. When he's at his best, he stretches defenses, opens up the field for other playmakers, and gives Patrick Mahomes another explosive weapon, but consistency has been the question. Injuries and fluctuating production have kept him from becoming a true WR1, so what makes Kansas City the right place for him? 2 words: Andy Reid. We've seen Reid and Mahomes elevate receivers who needed a fresh start. Just look at how Rashee Rice developed last season. Now, with Brown lining up alongside Rice and rookie Xavier Worthy, the Chiefs have a dynamic receiving corps built for speed and versatility. The contract structure is also smart. It's a low-risk, high-reward deal. If Brown delivers, he cashes in. If not, the Chiefs aren't locked into a long-term commitment. Either way, it's a move that makes sense for both sides. Now, let's hear from you. Do you think Hollywood Brown can be a WR1 in Kansas City? Vote in the comments. That wraps up the Chiefs' biggest moves in free agency so far. But the job isn't done yet. There are still holes to fill, and the offseason is far from over. Up next, let's talk about what's next for Kansas City and what moves could still be coming.